What's up, y'all, man? It's Tatted Blend. I'm giving you my first ever tutorial, full length. So let's get straight into it. First, I'm gonna start by brushing the hair. This client that I'm working on has a crazy hair growth pattern, so I'm gonna just brush it the way that the hair goes. And I'm gonna brush it a few times because he had a do-rag on, and I just wanna make sure that I got the hair in place and where it's supposed to be before I start the cut. Alright, now I'm going with the comb just to lift the hair, just to make sure that it feeds into the teeth of the clippers when I start this cut. Alright, so now I'm going with the 1.5. That's the length that my client chose to go with. I'm gonna make sure that that's closed, and I'm gonna go with the grain since we're trying to establish these waves. We don't want to knock the waves out by going against the grain. So we're gonna go with the grain. We're gonna take our time with it. Again, bro, we're students. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to do anything that you've seen on YouTube as far as speed and shortcuts. You're not taking any shortcuts. I'm gonna explain this haircut in the way that I do this haircut. You're gonna see that I go through certain hiccups, you know what I mean? Things that we'll face when we get heads in our chair. So I feel like this is a good video for me to learn and for the viewers to learn as well. And just be aware that sometimes, man, you might think the cut is done and it might look done, but always use your mirrors, man, and your camera too. Like, I'll notice that I'll use my camera, and I'll see lines and shaded areas that I didn't see with the light hitting it. So, you know what I mean? Always utilize your mirrors, man. Utilize like your phone as far as like videos and pictures, man, and just try to get these blends as blended as possible. I'm going with the hair growth pattern. It doesn't matter if it's sideways. It doesn't always have to be straight up and down. So remember to go with the hair growth pattern. Alright, so I'm gonna make this first bald line using my Snap FX, my Babyliss Snap FX trimmers. I'm gonna establish that line like right below or at the bottom of the ear. That'll be my mid or my high taper. asked my client if he was, if his skin reacted different to the shavers, if it would be a problem if I use a shaver. I always ask because I tend to bump up on the back of my neck when I use a shaver. So I ask almost every client that I'm working on if they're okay with the shaver or how their skin reacts to it. All right, so now I'm gonna go lever open using my Babyliss Snap FX clippers. I like to make this guideline thicker than the other guidelines because this is what I believe is where your biggest transition comes in at. So I like to give myself more space with this guideline. I go over it a few times just to make sure that it's all the way even and down to that desired length. And like I said, his hair grows crazy, so you'll see me working the clippers left and right, up and down, sideways, just to get this blend. And you can see that this guideline is even, but the angle of the camera is going to make it look uneven in a second. So just don't let that bother you. Alright, so now to start to get rid of that first guideline, the lever open guideline, I adjust the lever halfway and I start at that starting point and I just go up halfway, meaning where you started with the lever open. This technique that I'm using, I also use for every client. I'm learning new techniques, you know what I mean? So when I'm out of school, I never really know what I'm gonna actually be using or what my technique will end up being, but as for now, I'm just experimenting with different techniques. So right now we're still lever halfway open. Alright, so I just changed the lever all the way open just to reestablish that open guideline. Now I'm gonna close it for that bottom part of the open lever guideline. And once you get to this point, you can use the whole open lever system, like open halfway and closed. You can just play with it at this point to just get the dark spots out, but just remember, the higher up, the more open it has to be. So right now I'm just finding dark spots that I see, and I'm just, you know what I mean, just using these snaps, and they making it real easy for me to get this blended out. Alright, so now I'm about to go in with this number 1. I'm gonna have that open as well. And I'm gonna go up about an inch. I'm gonna just try to stay under that occipital bone. And you see that like the left and the right side is lighter than the hair that's actually on the bone. So that was something that I noticed, but I'm noticing even more watching it. This was like a client that I cut like one time, so I know now that like that part in the middle I would pay more attention to, since it's the darkest spot and I'm trying to lighten up. But again, establishing that line and we're brushing down just to make sure that that it's there. And honestly, it's not even really a line because we use a 1.5, so it kind of blends into it. It's just gonna take like a little some extra detailing just to get it to go all the way with the hair on top. All right, and I just put the lever halfway. Same steps, I'm gonna go halfway up. And this whole motion right here is all corners and all like a flick type motion, just like a scoop, like scoop in and out type motion. Adjust that lever as I go lower, trying to get that first line that it made out. And as you can see, it's blending out. And this is the same as like when we had the lever open. You just want to, after you run through the whole lever system, the open, halfway, and closed, at that point it's just a visual of where do you see dark spots. If you're going up high in that guideline, that's open. If you see a spot like halfway, that's halfway. If you see it at the beginning, then that's closed. Put this 1.5, I believe, back on just to blend that all the way in more. I think I got it halfway. I'm just flicking just to get that dark spot out. I know y'all probably looking at this video like I'm done with the back, like, yo, you done with the back, like move to the side. But the thing is, it's like that light spot, and it's one on the other side, and I just want to make sure that it just looked right. And as you can see, man, it takes time. Like, everything's not gonna just be the way that you see it on YouTube. It's not. It doesn't work like that. So every head is different. Every haircut is gonna be different. And you know what I mean? You just have to stay true to your steps and just know that with the steps that you're doing, you'll be able to get the result, the ending result that you desire. And being a student, bro, like that spot right there really was, like that really is what took a lot of the time. Cause I'm thinking like, all right, I got a vision for it, but it's almost to the point where if I'm not doing like a high fade, like a high like ball fade or something, it's not really gonna look the way that I'm expecting it to. You know what I mean? So that being said, I'm gonna go at this with the steps that I use and just blend it the best way possible, and to the point where my client likes it and I'm satisfied with it. And when I say that, I'm pretty much saying like there are no perfect canvases, so you will have to have a system. See like some dark spots there, so I'm gonna just work at it with that half guard. And this half guard is good for everything after you've done the 1. So anything that you've used, like from a 1 to like halfway, like a 2 halfway, if that makes sense, you can use that half guard for the corners of it. And remember to just go with the way that the hair is laying. As you can see, I'm going sideways and up and down. So, and I'm also brushing like slanted. So just keep that in mind also. Alright, so I'm gonna put this 1 back on here, and like I said, like you might use a guard and it might lift, you know what I mean, your fade, your blend up. So you just go back with that higher guard and you just use that open, and just like real light with the clippers, you just want to flick it that just to get it to blend. And as you can see, it just comes together like using these steps. And we're left with like that bottom no guard. Go at that open, halfway closed. But before that, I'm gonna go with the grain. With that 1 open, I'm gonna go with the grain just to knock that hair down. If it doesn't go down, you just go through the system, go halfway with the grain, and that'll pretty much do it. You shouldn't have to go closed. I'm using the corners right here. Open. I'm always open when I'm using the corners. Unless I'm like using a lower. Nah, I ain't gonna say that because it doesn't. Sometimes I'm halfway, sometimes I'm closed. It just all depends where I'm at in the blend. Alright, I'm no guard, lever 1/3 of the way open. And I'm just going at that bottom line just to get it to blend in, just flicking. It's like a scoop flick motion, however you want to call it. But I'm just flicking at that bottom line, not taking it up too high. If it doesn't seem to go, then I'm gonna lower that lever, close it more, and just stay in that area. Don't try to go up too high with it. If it doesn't seem to go, just stay under, start under the guideline and flick to the guideline. And just let the clippers do the work. Like I used to like force it, but just let the clippers just do it. Just be real light with them. If they don't take, then lower the guard. Just stay consistent with how you hold them and how light you are with them. Alright, this is the same as in the back. I'm gonna start the bald line with the trimmers. After the bald line, we'll do the open, lever open with the clippers, no guard, going up about a pinky to like a ring finger. It just depends on how big of a transition you want and how much what type of fade you're doing for real. But on average, go like a about like a pinky for the taper, and then you just do that same system halfway. Start exactly where you started with the open lever, move it halfway and start there, then close it and start there. But when you close it, keep the pocket real small. It's like literally just a flick motion. Alright, I'm going in with the one open, same as in the back, one open. I'm gonna stretch this though and just let the hair determine if I'm done using it, if that makes sense, because it should blend naturally since we only used the 1.5. Same system halfway and then close with the one. I ended up using number 2, close, because like I said, man, I'm trying to detail in the 1. I could have went 1.5, but I went 2 close. I mean, just experiment, and I know it's not going. If anything, it's just not going to take enough hair off. But and I could just go down to the 1.5. But I'm experimenting, man, seeing what works and what doesn't. Take that half off. I'm gonna go open, and I'm gonna just flick at any dark spot I see. I just sit the bottom of the blade on the dark spot, and it just like takes it off. So I'm just kind of like flick sideways with it if I'm going higher up. I'm doing now, I'm going sideways. I'm like all the way up where that one would be in that half guard. Then I'll follow it up with the shaver just to bald it all the way out, give it another transition between that and the trimmer guideline. And watching this video, I'm seeing where my blend could have used more detailing in certain dark spots up where I use that 1.5. So but I'm about to speed this side up.
Get here with it. Tap in. You already know Tadic Blends. What's your Instagram name again? I just seen your shit last night. You already know what it is. Wristworks. We got Jen Barber over there. You already know, but this the real video. He a tap man. They get you faded.
This video thing on here, I'm posting on mine. They know what's up.
Oh, my shit?
Yeah, say your shit. Pop your shit.
Hey, my work speaks for itself. Just come see me. Wristworks. I don't do tats or none of that shit. I just get you right.
Say like that.
Before I do the lineup, I like to use like a 1 open and just knock the hair down in the front. Just makes it smoother for when I put the line in. I was spinning them around in the chair and I saw some spots in the back that I wanted to take care of or whatever with this half guard, so that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, so I'm spraying him with spritz right now. It's gonna lay the hair down, blow dry it, makes it dry faster. And then I start with this line, but we already established his cowlick in the front on the left side, so I'm going to that side first, and I'm gonna work at that and get that as straight as possible. And as natural as possible. You don't want to push it back or anything like that. So I'm gonna start trying to bring that line from the corner to the middle. Work with them vertical bars, just getting that angle. I do the weak side first because I know the strong side is there, so we just want to make sure we got that side, the weak side, looking like the strong side, pretty much. Got a bad angle right here, but that neck taper is fire. As you can see, it came together. That's a real close-up. I'm gonna use my Tomb 45 enhancement spray card with the temptation. I was calling it temptation or something like, or no, I was calling it titanium. But yeah, I'm gonna use that the enhancement spray, just to give it more pop. You know what I mean? So, and that's what it's about now, man. That Instagram quality cut. follow up with the white chalk. Usually I use brown for anybody that's like his skin color or darker, but I'm gonna use white because I figured out how to use it. So I applied it lightly. I'm gonna use the trimmers and I'm gonna just go over that lineup and go down at the same time, so it's like blending into the skin. And then I'm gonna follow up with the razor like you see me doing right now, and just bring all that back to the line. It won't be clumped up or nothing, it'll just be straight, you know what I mean? Just a straight ash line if you do it this way. As you can see, man, this cut came all the way together. And if you never used a razor before, you're gonna have to practice with it. But if you have and you're familiar with it, just make sure that you keep your thumb. As you can see, mine is behind the razor, so make sure you're stretching with your thumb behind or in front, depending on the angle of the razor. You know what I mean? And the tighter the skin, the better. In short strokes, unless you're doing a neck shave, you would do like a long stroke, but that's something else. Alright, lining up the mustache is kind of tricky. Like for the bottom part, there is a light or a dark part that separates the lip from the skin. As long as the hair is like above that, you know what I mean, so that light or dark spot can show lining the lip, you're good as far as the bottom. The top is preference, whether they like it thick or thin, will be up to them. But I'm gonna just clean him all the way up, you know what I mean, get him ready for a spin. I ain't even used a mirror because he already had his phone out the whole time, because he already knew what type of cut this was. He knew what it was when he was getting in my chair, so you know what I mean, not to, you know, do none of that, but I mean, like my dog said, the work speak for itself. So this how we come in 2024. You know what I mean? I'm gonna add some moves, man, just lay it down, you know what I mean, get the waves popping, and I'm gonna go over it again. Always give it a freehand trim. But without further ado, my fellow barbers, student barbers, this is the cut. Let me know, man, what you think. You like it, hate it, love it. Just leave me a comment. Let me know, man. And I'm always trying to get better, man. So I take all criticism as good criticism, man. I'm trying to be the GOAT, you know what I mean? So appreciate it. Tap in, Tatted Blend. I'm out.